Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Sam.
and this is
Wise Words for Dodo Birds.
Creamboat Willie,
Dude, they are shitting their pants over this.
like the Willieverse. So he's like a sentient, talking glory hole. Ian, don't pull that up. But Rule 34 of the internet. If you can imagine anything, there is a sexual fantasy of that.
Bad press is still good press for us, right?
And so he wouldn't get any of his friends like Goofy.
Gosh. Hey there, Dodo Birds. Welcome back to episode 14 of our podcast. We are joined by Ian in the studio today. Last week we had Mary with us, and we should just let you know now that there will be some flip-flopping on that, pending whoever is available whenever we're recording an episode.
So if you hear somebody else in the room, we have a producer always, but it might be different people.
Yeah, and it'll usually be Ian and Mary. You never know. We might get another person, whoever is willing to help right now.
The disembodied voice will take many forms.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start off today by talking about a couple things that are happening in recent news. It is the 4th of January when we're recording this, and as of yesterday, Disney has lost the trademark license for their original prototype Mickey Mouse. It was called Steamboat Willie, so it's the first iteration or rendition of Mickey Mouse from 1928, and they have officially lost the patent or the trademarking license for that, now allowing people to do all sorts of crazy stuff with essentially Mickey Mouse. It's a
Right.
certain
There will probably have to be some kind of differentiator. Like, this is Steamboat with the hat, right?
Yeah.
There'll have to be there'll
be some key
or a steering wheel in the hand. Some kind of thing that differentiates them between.
Yeah, whatever a lawyer says is going to make it work.
Exactly, and that's why,
but there is for sure a path that could be done successfully.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. There will be, I think, legal battles down the road. But with it being public domain, people are going to totally be using it.
Sure, I mean, in the 24 hours that we've seen so far, we've already seen a trailer for a horror film as well as a horror game. Several other just small projects with it, but there have been a couple of studios that are waiting for this to happen. They seem fairly independent, but this is the sort of thing you could really make a name for yourself with, because it's a common IP that a lot of people know. It's recognizable immediately. You don't have to build a brand for it at all.
Right, exactly. You can just market your shit easily based on...
It's a free thing.
Hey, look, it's Mickey Mouse. Just don't say it's Mickey Mouse.
Exactly. So we're already seeing a horror film. In less than 24 hours, somebody dropped a trailer, which is fucking tight. And, the film is not going to be any good. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but if you compare it to a similar product like Pooh, Blood and Honey, the smash 2023 horror film hit involving Winnie the Pooh. So it was a similar trademarking issue where the trademark, expired, and now anybody can do something with the IP.
And that goes because that only goes back so far, right? When you go back 50 years or whatever, those things would probably have a different kind of copyright because of estate and stuff or whatever.
I think copyrights didn't emerge
till later. Exactly.
Yeah.
You can do it on this because this was 100 years ago before they really had
a lot of these characters that are really generations old now. Will start falling into public domain just because the creators of them are not there to file a specific copyright or trademark or licensing,
Exactly, yeah. And so it really kind of sucks to be Walt Disney right now. But see, that's the thing, Disney, that's why they're going to fight as hard as they can.
No, they've been fighting.
I know, and they're going to keep it. But so when you say they lost, because there's different levels of courts, different states, you know what I mean? There's all different manners in which you can challenge this kind of thing.
So they kind of won still in their Mickey Mouse trademarking deal is not going anywhere. So a modern rendition, 3D animation,
Right.
Full color. I don't know if the color plays into it because both of the
It might.
examples I saw today with like the horror film and the horror game,
Yeah.
both used full color. So I'm not really sure what the exact
Was
stipulations
the mouse
are.
black and white? Because
Yes, in both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
but there's for sure guidelines you can follow to use now Mickey Mouse essentially.
Right.
But they still have most of the character. Like,
Yeah,
if you
and I mean-
represent it in a certain way, they'll take you to court.
Exactly, and they'll have a leg to stand on in a lot of situations. That's why
Yeah.
I think it will be like, it will come down to it in court a lot. I think anytime someone does this, there will be a judge and some lawyers like, so does this one count, or do we let this go?
Yeah.
Like, which would be hilarious. And I personally think that we here at Wise Words for Dodo Birds should take full advantage of this. I mean, if we get sued, bad press is still good press for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unlikely that something's going to happen with it because, there's nobody to claim ownership of it. So I think you can you can go crazy with it. You could do all sorts of crazy stuff. Rule 34 of the internet, where if you can imagine anything, there is a sexual fantasy of that.
Yeah.
That's already, I'm sure, in full swing.
Yeah.
It's not something I prior researched.
Right.
But Ian, don't pull that up. But I guarantee if we type in Steamboat Willie, like 12-inch dong or something, like something,
Dude,
anything sexual.
Just his name, Steamboat Willie. You know what I mean?
It's of a sexual
I'll show you
nature.
how to steam a willy.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. I don't know. I don't have the greatest jokes for that.
But no, it's
in there. There's a
sexual
joke in there
nature.
somewhere.
Like, it's almost too easy. What would you do with? All right, so now that you can use Mickey
Right.
Mouse, one of the most
Essentially,
recognizable
yeah.
characters in
I don't know.
history.
Okay, fucking Steamboat Willie was like a 1920s character.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1928.
I like the theme of him being a fucking like a 20s themed gangster. You know what I mean? Like suit and tie, and instead of the fedora, he's got his Steamboat Willie hat on.
Yeah.
But he just always looks serious. He's packing. You know what I mean? And he's like what is it called when you're running liquor?
Bootlegger.
Bootlegger. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
bootlegger. Yeah, I like that fucking idea.
So like pinstripe zoot suit, like a mafia don,
yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah.
What kind of weapon is he carrying?
I mean, back then it was, they used a lot of pistols, shotguns, a Tommy gun,
The
maybe.
Tommy gun.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a Disney flavored like Al Capone.
Yeah. Disney flavored Al Capone, but he's got to have the Steamboat Willie hat so that we keep,
Yeah,
we don't want any disputes about him being
It could
Mickey
still
Mouse.
be like a boat oriented like fedora.
Yeah.
like how whatever the line is.
Dude, it could be like the dress up of it could look like it could be a fedora, but it's just absolutely it's full Steamboat Willie themed fedora.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Dude, this is money. We could make like a comic book out of it. Like, we wouldn't even have to like make any animation video. We could just put it up on anything as like a little comic. The first episode is just like, maybe like some murder that he committed.
And so he wouldn't get any of his friends like Goofy. Like, even though Goofy would make an awesome mafia boss, like, gosh.
Gosh.
So, like, what else would there be in this like comic or whatever?
I mean,
Like, who do you imagine like his nemesis is? Is it like
it would be other fucking
or like a
bootleggers.
police officer?
The
Cops.
FBI guy.
Yeah, FBI's
Yeah.
for sure.
See,
like,
now that makes sense for Goofy. Like him just being
well, you
like,
can't
"Guards."
include any of the
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
characters. Those are
Okay.
all, It's so, but
we
like,
get Willie. That's it.
right? It could be a world of Willies. You know what I mean? They could all
Like
be
everybody is a variant of Steamboat. Like even girls.
yeah, like even the hat of
Oh,
the
we
cops,
could fill it.
for example.
We could fill it with other ones that have lost their copyright.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
All the ones that have lost their copyright.
Dude,
Pooh
yes.
showing up for a cameo.
Now that's an idea. Yeah, Ian just had, any
Okay.
copyrights? Dude, that's something we should do some research on sometime.
Yeah.
How many characters don't have their Pooh Bear, right?
Bambi is
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
but not great to do stuff with.
Oh, wait. You can make... Dude, Bambi could be the character that Steamboat Willie kills in the beginning because Bambi was trying to, like, rip him off.
That's true. Just because Bambi's a bitch in his movie doesn't mean he has to be in ours.
Well, I did just suggest that he was, like, the opening victim of our comic book.
No, but he could still come. Like, I want Sylvester Stallone to play Bambi.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, so now... Okay, so instead, now
He can
he's-
still die, but, like, it makes it more impactful.
Dude. There's options here. Yeah, we could fill the world with... and I think Steamboat Willie being the main one would be perfect, but filling the world with the free... What is it? Open...
Like, open trademark,
Open
public
trademark.
domain.
Public domain, that's
Public
the word.
domain.
Yeah. Public domain. Yeah, any character whose trademark is public domain.
We can keep going, but Ian, see if you can find a list of most popular public domain characters.
Imagine that world, and it's 1920s, because it's at least because the liquor's illegal. That's like the big theme, right? But they're all these characters are like liquor or bootlegging.
And what kind
Gangsters.
of character would our main Willie be? Is he like a nice guy, or is he just a straight thug?
I think like anti-hero of sorts,
Okay.
where
so he's got redeemable qualities.
Yeah, exactly. Like he has a code, I'm sure, but he kills people and it's like it's fucking murder for money kind of shit, like he's totally down to kill people if the price is right. That's because that's what those 20s gangsters guys were like. It's like they dress nice and they dress it up all fancy, but they're just fucking murderers.
I love the idea of haha.
Well, that
Al
part's
Capone.
see, that's probably
We'd have to research it.
Yeah, but if he could, dude, if he could do that, like you just hear like the loud gunshots, and then just
Yeah, just
Actually, I think
and then
they
the
mentioned that
shotgun
in the article
double
that-
barrel goes together.
that the high pitched voice is up for grabs also basically.
oh my
Fuck
god,
yeah, dude! All right,
Dude.
so we're gonna be casting.
yeah.
Okay, but
anyone
anyway,
who wants to play our Steamboat Willie,
so like
mobster.
kind of like an Al Capone character. Have you ever been to like Chicago and seen any of that man's wreckage?
No, I've been to Chicago, but I didn't see any of it.
I went into Little Italy and I saw like I just want to say it's called like the Murder Tree. I don't know if that's what Blood Tree maybe, but there was a specific place by a bunch of like Italian like delis and stuff that they would post people's names, like pin it to this fucking tree, and hitman would come and like take the hit. And
Okay.
they knew that Capone was gonna pay you would
Damn.
you'd get your money.
Yeah, like you're gonna get paid. Just
You find
just
this
get it done.
motherfucker,
Bro.
prove.
That kind of stuff should be in
Yeah.
the Steamboat Willie gangster comic.
Yeah, you do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
he's messing around with these low level assassins,
And then there's
but he's
also-
got to do his own stuff sometimes too.
Right. Well, and there's got to be hilarious moments too, like
Yeah.
because of like maybe cheese and wine being like a delicacy that because wine's illegal, but cheese and wine for a fucking mouse. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like his thing,
Yeah, that's how you like butter him up.
Right.
Yeah, I like the idea of him just sometimes being an absolute monster, though. Like Al Capone,
Just
there
blowing
was-
brains out, dude. Absolutely, yeah.
Al Capone like was so crazy and like in charge of Chicago at such a high degree that cops basically didn't fuck with him. There was a Catholic church that was across the street from like a parking garage, or I don't know what it was at the time, but like a building across the street, and it's still there today. And this motherfucker has drums and drums of just like Tommy gun, like loads up a drum and just shoots at a fucking Catholic church because he was like rivaling with
And
the
were there
priest.
people inside?
That I don't know. I know the the priest that he was after, he was inside.
The priest was? There
Yeah.
probably were other people, too.
Because
I
this
mean,
guy was, like, talking shit in the public eye, and, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people did things for Capone because, like, he was kind of your, like, neighborhood Robin Hood, you know? Like,
Oh, yeah?
he would like give them stuff and make sure they had jobs and family, and he ran.
I don't think I've ever heard that about him.
Yeah, no, like
I
for
never
real.
knew that about him.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
he was
I've
like
heard some pretty dastardly shit, too.
he was like a well-known like philanthropist in his community. Like he had warehouses of shit, and he gave people actual jobs. And when the Chicago government wasn't really helping anybody out, and so this one priest starts talking shit, and he just Tommy guns fucking hundreds of rounds.
See,
and there's just big like steel like pads over that same church. Like you can look at the bullet holes. It's crazy.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't want to sit here and be like, it's cool to shoot up churches, but that is the kind of thing that, like, sends a fucking message.
For a movie and stuff like that, it's the coolest fucking
Oh,
thing.
sure, for a movie.
But like the fact that he actually did it. It's like,
yeah, that's a little bit like, wow, dude. But
I feel a little
this
icky how
this
cool that is.
Al Capone we're talking about
Yeah.
here. So, like,
Notorious
Capone in
gangster.
Chicago in
right,
the 20s, yeah.
not exactly surprising. And I mean, one thing I know about the guy, he had a fucking temper. So he probably just went off that day, like, this motherfucker's talking shit. I'm gonna get him.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody suspected that he would die of syphilis in prison.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, like a guy who's gunning down priests,
Right.
I would have been like, I don't know what I would have said he would have died from, but it wouldn't have been syphilis in prison.
yeah. Thought he would have gotten killed by somebody. I'm honestly, you know, I'm surprised.
Maybe
that
that's. Go ahead.
it took the tax. I was just surprised it took the tax thing to get him.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they
That
had to
always
get something. He didn't pay an electric bill. They
Right.
put him in prison. And maybe like for him, maybe dying of syphilis is like the way to go, because then nobody gets to be the hero above him in that story. You know,
Yeah.
nobody murked him.
Right.
Like,
Right.
He just
Right.
he's like, I'm gonna get a dirty dick and fucking die like a man.
Get a dirty dick and die like a man.
So I think we got some stuff here in the Steamboat Willie in your comic or
Oh yeah, for the comic for sure, dude. We got our first issue like panned out already.
what I would do, a little bit different approach, but equally vulgar potentially. Are you familiar with like Pam Anderson?
I know who that is. Yes,
She was like the Baywatch girl
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
in the 80s.
Bo Rat.
Yeah. Bo Rat puts her in a bag.
Yeah,
and,
didn't he actually
he
kidnap her for
actually
that
did
movie?
that, and
Yeah.
she was not in on the joke.
She wasn't in on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing. It's like, dude, and I think she had a restraining order against that guy. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious and awful. Don't fucking do that to
yeah,
people. But that's so
terrible,
funny. That was great.
Amazing joke.
Great material.
And so Pam Anderson, you know,
Kidnapping.
everybody's
Oh, it's hilarious.
fucking everybody's wet dream of the growing up in the 80s. And Tommy Lee, the drummer of Motley Crue, they were a couple. I think they still are actually happily married, I believe. But they made an infamous sex tape.
Okay.
I don't know when the sex tape released. I think it was in like the early 2000s. But the kind of the general aesthetic of that sex tape is sex on like a yacht.
Okay.
And
okay.
there's a famous scene where Tommy Lee is steering the boat with his penis, with his erect penis, and he even puts on like a sailor cap. So, and then like does Pam Anderson on the front, like kind of like Titanic, but
Yeah.
erotic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I want to recreate the Pam Anderson Tommy Lee sex tape
With Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie, because he should, you know, it's so obvious that he should drive the steamboat with his Willie.
Yeah.
Like,
Steamboat Willie. Yeah. Steamboat driving Willie. Willie driving. No. There's some.
I think there's probably what would we call it?
Willie steering the steamboat.
Creamboat Willie.
Creamboat Willie. There we go.
Yeah, just play out the whole thing. It can't be Minnie Mouse in this scenario.
No,
so
I
we
think
could
just
just have
some
a blonde girl with massive jugs.
some supermodel with huge tits.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Live action for this, or no? It's just a guy in a mask.
Just turns into a porno with a guy wearing a Steamboat Willie mask, like
Legally-
a fucking cheap plastic one.
Legally, I can. Yeah, so there's going to be a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Probably crazier than that. 2 girls, 1 cup. You know, two girls,
God.
1 Willie.
2 girls, 1 Willie. I mean, that's so simple.
Yeah, but they, you know, low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's not going to get made.
Yeah, I mean, Creamboat Willie is not highbrow.
Right? This isn't exactly super deep and insightful work we're talking about here. But I think you got something there too.
Cool.
Yeah. I think you can make that work.
We'll check back in 6 months on both of our projects, and we'll see how they. No, I'm just
right?
Yeah,
It's like I just have this nice little comic, you know, like
yeah.
it's
I
like,
found 2 guys or 2 people that are down to fuck.
right? It's
on
like, dude, you
camera.
got to check this out, man.
He can hold his breath for 90 seconds, so the mask's not going to be a problem for him.
A whole 90 seconds.
And yeah, he can drive the boat.
He can drive the boat. Trust me, this guy's got it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if Disney's gonna like come after some of these properties though. Like with Blood and Honey with Winnie the Pooh, they tried to do it.
And
they failed.
They failed, yeah.
They failed, and so
And if you can't get Winnie the Pooh, then that means that like this is possible. You know what I mean? Because Winnie the Pooh, he's not quite like Mickey Mouse, but he's that fucking old. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He is like. That's why they were able to do it, though. You know.
But I think you're right that they will push back. There's a, you know, Disney's one of those companies that will do everything they can to make sure that my project doesn't happen.
To make sure that what you want to do won't happen.
Yeah.
Well, and, you know,
same for you.
In Disney's defense, Steamboat Willie was Mickey Mouse before he was Mickey Mouse. They're like, what is their logo for everything? It's those fucking mouse ears, you know. Dude, they are shitting their pants over this right now. I mean, I don't like corporations in general, but Mike, he loves to shit on particular companies.
Yeah, I do.
Like, you know, what is it? Disney is. I mean, I know Apple is a big one. This guy is very anti-Apple, and Disney's probably on that list too. I'm not a fan of either.
Disney, Nintendo, Apple, BlackRock.
BlackRock.
They own everything, man.
I just got a Nintendo for Christmas. Nintendo Switch.
For Christmas, that's good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like that.
It works. It's
that
okay.
Or at a garage sale. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo is definitely one of those companies that will come after their fucking IP.
Yeah.
Though, they don't play around. We're not going to see Pikachu public domain anytime soon.
Oh, definitely
I don't think
not.
ever, actually.
Oh, no, that's not happening.
They're going to own that. They've been so petty with some of their stuff that I don't know if you've heard about, like, there's been several content creators that have been kind of sought out for this by Nintendo, but one I'm thinking of is Pokey Princess got sued by Nintendo, and she was just a Twitch streamer, and she made some like merch that was kind of Pokemon.
So it like, did it have logos on it or anything? Or
No,
was it
not
just...
official logos, but like fan art.
Okay, see, yeah. The fuck over it.
Yeah.
It's a Twitch streamer.
And they've gone after several like small YouTubers and stuff too. I've seen several YouTubers talk about that they've been like had videos like copyright struck or like even flagged for just like having
content.
Let's plays.
I could understand that shit, 15 years ago, whenever they first started like having people that were doing,
when it was new and
when
emerging.
this stuff was new, it's like, but like it's 2024 now, Like
Yeah.
this is a thing that people do. And I used to make fun of it back in the day, like people who like, wait, you're watching videos of other people playing games? What the hell's the matter with you? But like, it's a thing now. And so like the companies need to accept it too.
They're so stringent, dude. Like, if you want to host like a Smash Brothers tournament, you have to have, if it's over a certain amount of players, you have to have sanction from Nintendo. Otherwise, like if the tournament is streamed or like, filmed at all that footage will not be usable and you might see yourself in court. But a lot of these other video game companies don't have any sort of restrictions like that. You can just host a Call of Duty tournament if you want to.
Right.
But
No, and I've actually heard that Nintendo's also like notoriously bad at like they don't let third-party people make stuff, and when they do, it's like always crappy, And they're like and actually I mean, never mind. I had a thought, but it actually wasn't super relevant. It was like how their stuff gets fried by third-party made things, and it's almost like they design it that way on purpose. I don't know though. Like that's the thing. I didn't want to go on a rant because it's like I don't know some conspiracy theory shit in me, like wanting to go off on a rant. But like it kind of feels like they design it that way. So like if you try to use anything but their products with their products, that it's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, with like Apple, Nintendo, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, their IP is a big part of it. Like Apple is so appealing because it's a huge brand,
right.
know.
But that's all.
Yeah, it makes me sick when they go after like small creators. Imagine if we got sued for our, previous Creamboat Willie.
Right. Yeah, our Creamboat Willie.
Yeah, and
statements.
like Twitch streamers, YouTubers being sued for this is absolutely crazy. Like, they're a big company, and you can just bleed people dry with legal matters, and there's nothing you can do. Like, I could get the best lawyer I know, and he sucks compared to Disney or, like, Nintendo's lawyer, you know? And let alone the team of lawyers they have. Like,
that's the thing. It's like they have a whole fucking firm's worth of lawyers.
For sure.
Like a private firm or some shit. Yeah, no, there's like you have no ammo when these people get you in their sites. I mean, unless the, like they did with Steamboat Willie. When it becomes public domain, then you have something. But
yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised that like Pokey Princess wasn't protected under certain things to like protect like fan art or artistic interpretation of characters, because I know that's like a big thing with like YouTuber or
and so many people do it. Like you can't find a streamer or a YouTuber who doesn't have some kind of knick-knack from something. Like, does this mean Beanie Baby can sue us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for having these pelicans? Like
maybe they could, but they definitely wouldn't.
They won't,
but
because we're not.
Nintendo might.
Nintendo might. Yeah.
Like if this was a Pikachu,
dude,
we'd be fucking.
But that's the thing. Like there have to be. I mean, I guess I don't watch Nintendo related streams, but I feel like if you were, there'd be Nintendo memorabilia everywhere.
Until they...
And in 2024, it's like, get the fuck over it, Nintendo.
Until they arbitrarily start caring about it, you can, but then once they care about it, then you have to stop. But I like some companies out there that really try to like ride the fine line of like what's acceptable. There's a game that I've been there's a game that I've been really excited for, that I've been watching for a couple of years now. It's called Pal World, and it's very, very Pokemon reminiscent. It's kind of like one of my favorite games and one of your favorite games. Yeah, because you're a big Grand Theft Auto fan, right? Like,
yeah, I love GTA.
I'm a big Pokemon fan. I hate the company. I love the games. But it kind of combines both of those things. It's a very hyper-violent, gang affiliation. You have like poachers and stuff.
Yeah.
You can roll with factions and commit all sorts of acts of violence, as well as like make sweatshops for Pokemon and like have them do shit work for you.
And like there's like AK-47s and shit involved, like miniguns.
Honestly, like it's the most realistic Pokemon game out there. Because like if they have nanotechnology to shrink a fucking Snorlax down to a millimeter, they've got AKs.
Did these guys get sued?
They did get sued twice, and
because you could just by looking at it, like there'll probably be a picture, like right here, we'll probably use like
Yeah.
one of their pictures, you know.
If
and,
we can use the trailer, we will.
and it's called Pal World, you know. That's the thing. You're totally allowed to do this stuff if you're crediting who it is and you're saying like, oh yeah, you know. So like, yeah, we want you to know who's doing it, and it looks fucking cool. Like,
yeah, they're riding such a fine line though, dude. And I just love how crazy and over the top. I feel like the part of the motivation for this game is to see how far we can get away with it. Like there's some trailers where it's just even more. Yeah, like I don't understand. Like this is literally the most realistic Pokemon game too. Nintendo would never give this to you.
It looks like several games. So there's some like Satisfactory vibes and some Arc vibes. And
Yeah. Like Arc was a big inspiration for it. It's like it's
bro,
GTA, Arc, and
this
Pokemon.
is out now.
I think it's coming out soon. I don't think it's out quite yet, but it comes out this year.
What does
February.
TGS mean? It says TGS 2023.
I think that's just like a convention.
Oh, okay.
Like this is probably it. Probably just got.
So that's when it was announced.
Yeah. Like a E3 type thing.
Yeah. I was just curious because it's like was like to be to be released.
See if Pal World is released.
Yeah. Dude, and that's fucking crazy though. Like that they actually had the balls to do that. You know, like to like, and I mean they got sued for it. But I wonder what the suit. So I wonder what the suit like, you know, turned out to be. Like, did they fucking like? Well, I'm just wondering.
They sued for likeness. I know that.
Right. Well, and I'm wondering if they're saying like, no, like it's different enough, basically. You know, like Pokemon don't wield weapons like this, weapons of war.
So I think they had to make it so over the top because it's like that's how you January 2024. So
okay, so soon.
Surprised it's not more accurate than that, seeing it's how it's January 2024.
I'm sure you could find
currently
it.
January 2024.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find it. But yeah, I think if you just make it different enough, it's fair. You know, it's artistic interpretation. It's based off something, but is not copying it. But I know the game got pushed back because of the litigation, but...
Probably. Oh, yeah. That would make perfect sense, though. It's like, well, we're not sure if we can release it yet, so...
Yeah, it looks
pending
like
the release date.
This message right here is from 2 days ago. It says it was supposed to be tomorrow, so I guess that would have been 1 day ago. And then they say it looks like it's going to be later this month instead.
Okay, cool. I wonder what's going on. I'm curious. I might look into that on my private time and like look into see if they're being sued or something again. Like Nintendo's like, oh, seriously, we'll give you $2 million if you can't have Pokemon slaves in like Rocket Like you can't have like Pokemon ISIS.
Please, we'll do anything. Please just what? Name your price. Name your price not to make this fucking game.
Right.
Give you Pokemon to sweat.
So how much were you expecting to make from this?
Right. That's the thing. It's like they're probably going to make a ton of money off it. I don't know, though. It's a good question.
It looks good.
So it's going to be like a PC game?
Yeah. It's open world.
Yeah, it's going to be on Steam.
A Steam release?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. I'm so excited to play it.
Yeah, dude. I'll get it. I'll play it with you.
Yeah, there's a game that you've been excited that has kind of had some.
Well, come on, let's all admit we're a little excited.
Oh yeah, but you particularly,
too,
you're super into lore, and I know that there's kind of a on horizon release date eventually for.
Yeah, it's no big secret. It's GTA.
Yeah.
GTA 6 is coming out. Well, and like again, like the thing, and I've told you this. Well, I know I've talked to Ian about it in private car. Maybe you a little bit. I'm into the lore. Like it's going to be Vice City again. I'm excited about that.
Hell yeah.
Fucking no Ray Liotta, unfortunately, because he
What's the setting
away.
of Vice City?
It's Miami, I believe. Yeah, it's Miami, Florida.
Okay.
But that's the thing. So like, I don't know, you guys played GTA Vice City, right? And it, especially nowadays, like it's kind of a small map when you look at it. Like back then it felt like a decent size, sure. But so now it's that plus like a whole bunch of like the whole surrounding area. Like that's just like a segment of the very large map that is going to be this time. And like, I don't know, I'm interested in the lore. It's going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde type characters, like a young couple, and it's going to be more modern because Vice City took place in like 1987, I think it was.
All right.
I'm not sure of the year. I just hope that the guy, like, because again, they won't have Ray Liotta to do the voice of the, but I hope the guy from the first game, at least if he's not in it, like if they just had him pass away, the guy would be old. You know, he was like in his late 30s in
Sure.
the 80s, so by now he'd be in his late 70s, I think.
You want to see like a cameo from him?
If
See
not
they
a
have any
cameo, a
extra-
sign of his empire that, because that's the thing, you spent that whole game building up an empire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like I'd like there to be some sort of like, you know, criminal underground and he's just a legend and shit, you know, and like maybe he's not there, you know, like that's the thing. He doesn't have to be in it. I want lots of cameos. Oh, look at that. Okay. 2002 is when it was released.
Yeah, like almost Halloween 2002.
20 years. Damn.
It's been 20 years, but yeah, you know, and that's the thing in the game. It has taken like 40
50?
years, 40, 87 to 20, because it's like it take place in like the modern day. So
Oh, okay. So the setting was 87?
the setting was 87. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. The game was released in October of 2000.
Those games are huge though. It's going to be a banger. Like,
Yeah. No. And I think that, you know, because like I'm also looking forward to the online. You know, I'm also, by the way, I actually wouldn't even mind giving a shout out to at least one of the voice actors that was in the old game. Fucking Ned Luke. He won't be in the new one, but he was in the old game, dude, and he was so good. He's just an actor. He's not even a voice actor. Like they did mocap and everything for these games.
oh, cool.
Yeah, you know, and they like got their faces and everything. And dude, I'm just looking so forward to the next one because it's like a whole when you condense just the main story, not even including all the side quests and stories you can do in these games, into like a video with the minimal stuff. It's hours. You get like it's like several episodes of a long ass TV show, and you get to play and live it. You know,
Sure.
I love that shit. I love the lore of games, and they spend so much time and money. Like a big reason I wanted to even bring this one up in the first place was because they spent over $1 billion on it. They're setting a record.
That's
with the
the
amount
most
of money.
expensive game ever.
Yeah, I can't. I remember I saw what the one, because it's a game I had never heard of that currently holds the record of most money spent on it.
Gotcha.
And GTA 6 is about to pass it. And I think GTA 5 had set the record back in 2013 whenever they came out. But another game has come out since where more was spent on it, which makes sense.
It's crazy how like relevant GTA is, like 5 is still today.
Oh yeah,
You know, like
that game.
It's one of the most popular games on
Dude,
Twitch. And
it's so weird. I have seen short videos, like fucking, you know, the reels of what we're doing, of people just podcasting, and right beneath it is just videos of people racing in GTA.
Yeah.
And they have nothing, they're not talking about GTA.
yeah,
They're doing what we're talking about it right now, but they're doing what we usually do, is like, you know, talking about Creamboat Willie or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and then there's just GTA playing underneath, and I'm just like, I asked a coworker one time, I was just like, what's with that? And they're like, what? And I was like, why is there GTA footage under the video you're watching? Oh, I don't know, some videos just have that. It's like, why?
No, it's true.
It's like,
though.
it's just
like there's some
'cause.
video games that just have like platforming stuff, or like, you know, that game where they're jumping on the buses.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
letting-
just extra ADD.
yeah, it's just something going on in the background,
stimulation.
and
Yeah.
they're doing podcast stuff. Yeah.
Which I guess works, you know.
A lot of times they're just reading things.
Hey,
too.
put GTA racing right here for me. We'll see if it works.
Yeah. Oh, it will.
Yeah, oh, it will.
I mean, it might be some ghetto picture that just says GTA Racing. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I'll
Oh, no.
put something there for you.
But yeah, dude, this game is going to be huge though. GTA 6, like the fact that GTA 5 came out such a long time ago and it's so relevant still. The fact that we're going to get it on a modern engine, like as far as the game is made, it's going to be crazy. It's
Yeah.
going to be a big cultural phenomenon.
One of the things
100%.
the modern engine should be providing too, and this is just a rumor, I don't know exactly what, you know, I don't know exactly for sure, you
Yeah.
know, is that like you'll be able to have buildings built, you know, you'll be able to customize and make buildings Like, you know how you can buy apartments and shit, you know?
So could you
companies.
like run a restaurant or something that you built?
That's what I have. I have no idea. And again, I don't even know if you can do this. This is just like hearsay, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't
But
know.
once you have enough power, have enough money, you know, and you've become like this criminal that, you know, I bet you have to start small, buying like a shitty garage, like like in the beginning of every game.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, you know, with the modern engine, I bet they can do it. They can like, you know, and some games botch that, but GTA, again, they're spending over $1 billion on this game. I don't think they're going to fuck this up, especially because they're also going to, I'm pretty sure they're going to get some amazing voice actors again.
100%.
I don't know who, but like Joe Rogan's rumored to be. Like, you know what, I would love to see like, or hear, you know, I think most people, an underrated actor that's in everything, Steve Buscemi. I'd love to see him in GTA.
Yeah.
Dude. Just some fucking criminal that's like, yeah, oh, dude, that would be great. Like,
Hell yeah.
again, I don't have any, and another shout out to a voice actor or an actor who was in one of these games was fucking Samuel L. Jackson, Officer Tenpenny, dude. He was like the best corrupt cop I have ever seen.
Hell yeah.
Just like fucking punking all the main characters in the game.
That's interesting. Like, I'm just thinking about like the building aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if they'll have that in the multiplayer too, because we've talked about this in personal conversation that there's kind of like a pay to win aspect to, like, to some degree. Like, you can have like better clothing and like cars and stuff. And so if you could pay to just have like the best buildings and stuff. So I bet it's going to be like server based or
Sure. I mean, and again, I don't know how it'll work online.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly going to, at least
like a story
the way
thing.
I'm picturing it would be like a single player thing.
Okay. Which would make sense to me too.
Online it's probably possible, but like the way it works, you know, I don't know if you've played recently, but like when you buy a company or like the same apartment, so it's like it's all in the same place, you just phase into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it would work having things built. Maybe there's just like an area where things can be built, and like, I don't know, maybe there's different servers you can go to and stuff. I have no idea. Again, they're spending so much money on this fucking game.
They'll have to buy like plots of land in the server.
Hey,
like,
dude, if any game would be like ambitious enough and have the money to try something like that, it would be GTA.
Yeah.
Because like, again, single player, that stuff can be done by a lot of games. It has been.
Sure.
But to do it online in an effective way that works, because like me and Ian have definitely played. Have you ever heard of Atlas? Ark? You know, Ark was mentioned earlier. Have you heard of Atlas?
Yeah.
It's another game where it's like, you know, you can kind of do things and build everywhere and stuff like, but it gets out of hand and it gets changed, and gets changed into a way where the people who made the game have absolutely had no intention of it getting that way.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And so I feel like if anybody has the resources to like cap the players from doing shit they don't want them to be able to do, like we want it for this, I think the GTA Rockstar, you know, I think they could do it.
Yeah. They seem super capable.
Did they do any? I have never played Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption 2. Did you play those?
Some of my friends did, so I'm like,
Do you know if they had anything like that in those? They had online for the second one.
No,
Right?
I don't think they did. In fact, the release of Red Dead Redemption, like multiplayer, was the closest thing to like a stain on Rockstar's record that they've ever had. Not exactly dropping the ball entirely, but most of the features just didn't work. Like, riding a horse is a big part of being a cowboy.
Right.
The horse feature did not work for a bit.
That seems weird because GTA worked so well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was like
a hard time when it first dropped on online too.
Well, not nearly. No, that's the thing. Because I played it when it first came out, and it had bugs. It had some bugs, but like especially when you compare it to some other games that have tried to go online, you know, with a style that was normally single player, like it was ultimately super successful.
They also took a lot of time to release it for PC. I think it was like
yeah, well, and it did not really.
bugs.
It was not online. Was not ready on release for any version of the game.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm talking on Red Dead.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was
Like
talking
it took them like a year or something to
Oh,
release
wow, really?
it. Like it was like a long time.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I think GTA 6, they've got probably the bugs worked out. You
Yeah.
know, they've spent a fucking decade plus by the time we'll get the game in 2025, you know?
Yeah. And again, $1 billion.
Yeah, and $1 billion and a lot of suspected voice actors. I'm sure, dude, I would love to see Joe Rogan in it just as like
Dude,
a
if he
fucking
is-
dumb meathead.
I mean, again, something I saw was that maybe Samuel L. Jackson would be in it. I'd love to see him in it again, but like he was already Officer Tenpenny, and I'm pretty sure Officer Tenpenny died in San Andreas.
So who is somebody that has not been with the franchise that you
Joe
would
Rogan
like?
is one that I'd be. I think he could be a total bro. He'd be like a perfect character.
Well, like if you had to draft somebody right now, who would it be?
I said earlier, Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
He'd be one. Fucking. You could put Snoop Dogg in there.
You could put Snoop Dogg.
You could
in there.
honestly just have him be like a radio host or something. You know what I mean? And he would do it too. Snoop Dogg would totally do it.
I would like J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. He'd be great, dude.
Yeah.
And he does video games. He's happy to do them. So
Yeah, he does some crazy roles. I just recently watched Jeffrey D. Morgan. That would be a good one for sure.
dude, he'd be great.
I just watched a J.K. Simmons movie about J.K. Simmons is voice acting a cosmic entity that you never get to see, but he is inhabiting a glory hole in a gas station. So he's like a sentient talking glory hole. That sounds like a terrible movie. It's a great film.
I bet it's hilarious, dude.
No.
No.
Not
it's
funny.
Depressing.
It's a great film.
It's a great. I didn't say it was funny.
Like
I said it was a great
it's not
film.
like you think that would be like the pitch for a B horror film, but it's actually very like heady and like very intelligent.
That's.
And the
okay.
fact that he did that,
I'll take your word for it.
dude, it's good. It's a banger. Like honestly, I can't remember what it's called. Might just be. I'm pretty sure it's just called Glory. But J.K. Simmons, he's done some crazy roles that you would not expect him for.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's great. So
Yeah.
like, I would love to have him. And Ian, do you have any? I guess Jeffrey Dean Morgan was.
Yeah,
yours,
I guess
huh?
that was.
JDM. You know, he'd be great. He'd be like a good
Yeah.
boss, like gangster boss, especially if he's like angry and mean to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like that tough guy, mean attitude to him. And he's
Yeah.
such a nice guy.
If Sylvester Stallone doesn't do your goofy,
yeah.
then I think it would be cool if he did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw.
What was the brother who was already in jail in Prison Break?
Oh, that is Dominic's something. His name's
Yeah, he'd be good, too.
You're the Google guy,
Right.
Yeah, brother, jail, prison break.
Yeah, if
Thought you might have known that
Google
one.
the cast,
I thought you
yeah,
might have known that one.
yeah, no, he'd be good. He's a good like street, thug. He plays a good thug. Man, yeah, no, Terrence Howard maybe. Terrence Howard would probably make a good
Dominic
GTA
Purcell.
Purcell, yeah. Oh, dude, Robert Nepper.
Yeah.
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 Put Robert Nepper in that shit. Oh, Wade Williams, dude.
He passed away, I believe. But
Oh no. Paul Adelstein, he'd be good too, dude. Like, oh man. Oh, William Fichtner. Actually, he's probably already been in. Oh yeah, he has been. William Fichtner was in Vice City. He was the lawyer guy. Yeah, he was. Do you guys remember his name was Rosenberg,
maybe,
I believe.
maybe he didn't.
In Vice City.
Uh-uh.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
One other voice actor I'd like to see is who played Robert California in The Office?
Oh, James Spader, I believe.
James Spader.
dude.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Ultron.
Put him in that fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
James Spader. Put James Spader in GTA 6.
Put him in everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put him in
seriously.
everything. What time do we got?
51, 52.
You want to hit
the
a
advice?
thing or two more before advice, or you want to?
I was wondering about that the comic book I was thinking about, who would the other characters be?
Yeah.
Because we got Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Do we do like a comic book full of Steamboat Willies? Because when I was a kid, I liked to make comic books.
Like the Willieverse.
Right. Well, when I was a kid, I made comic books and I used Kirby because he's easy to draw.
Yeah.
You know, Steamboat Willie's also pretty easy to draw. But, so you could just do a whole universe full of Steamboat Willies.
Or have like some different characters in there.
Like who? Oh, you could put Pooh Bear.
Oh, you could do Pooh or like
Or like any of the
Pooh Bear, like
people that are like public domain now.
oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Robin Hood, Cthulhu, King
Yeah.
Arthur,
Yeah,
Sherlock
Holmes.
Holmes.
Dude.
I think Sherlock Holmes could be first arc nemesis. You know,
Yeah.
he's trying to like
Dude, he's the guy trying to fucking catch.
yeah, trying to catch him.
Dude. Steamboat Willie being chased by Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry, Gangster Steamboat. We got to be very clear. Like he's a dark version.
Yeah,
And fucking Sherlock Holmes is like all up on that and drugs trying to catch this ruthless motherfucker.
Willie drives more than just steamboats.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, Tom,
You know
Tom
what I'm
and
saying.
Jerry's on there. James Bond.
James Bond is a
No way.
public
Okay,
domain.
now I'm starting to doubt this list.
Wait, Mickey Mouse is on there.
No, this list is
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Yeah.
to be decided on that one, Dodo Birds.
Popeye would be sick
Yeah.
Popeye might be possible.
Yeah.
Because he's that old.
because he's that old.
How can
Yeah.
Hercules even
And
be
Popeye would be good with-
copyrighted in the first place?
Right. I mean,
Like-
Hercules on that list makes sense to me because it's like an
They would-
age-old tale.
And they would totally try to do
Yeah,
that
like
too.
it would always be public domain because it's just like, yeah.
I could
yeah.
totally still see Disney trying to be like, "Nuh-uh, we thought of it first."
Dude, like, because Hercules is kind of like a religion type thing. You know, it's part of their mythos in Greek culture. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day. Can you copyright or trademark Jesus Christ?
No.
Whichever person made him up probably could. No, I'm just kidding. Actually,
Well,
I
that
believe
person is dead. I hope. Yeah. So why don't we try to copyright Muhammad? I know you can't show pictures of him, otherwise.
right there.
Yeah. Right there.
You can Google pictures of him, so like it's possible.
It's unexciting.
It's not.
I wish he would be like a cooler guy, like look cooler. Because like Jesus Christ has like the Chad Rover,
Yeah.
like the singer in Nickelback, or
Right.
like he's got like an old like Die Hard, like Mel Gibson vibe. You know, he looks like a guy you'd want to hang out with on a beach.
Yeah.
Like
Very
he could like
approachable.
give you surfing lessons.
Yeah. Probably likes to smoke weed.
He has like 60% of the people at Burning Man just look like Jesus.
Like
Is
all
that
the
because of
dudes.
Jesus, or is that just what happens to hippies?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah,
Is it just what happens?
yeah. Was
It's
Jesus
hard to know.
just a hippie?
Yeah, well, that's actually a common saying, right?
Yeah.
He was a hippie who like hung out with hookers and like, fucking drank wine.
Yeah, dude, he was just living it, and
Yeah. No, I mean, look, honestly, dude, like, real brief, minimal love for religion, but Jesus, I actually, in theory, I like the guy.
yeah,
I do. He's a good prophet. If you're gonna like, especially when you're gonna look at the list, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
of some of the others.
yeah, like he's not so bad. Now, whether or not he exactly as the tales say or whatever, but he seemed like a pretty good guy.
I like the idea of the Buddha because he was actually like a skinny, very regimented man in history and like very disciplined and this and that. And the Chinese government was so against the movement happening that they made him a fat, gluttonous,
Right, yeah.
pig of a man.
and like
then,
that caught on.
And then that was the thing
Yeah.
that made Buddhism so much more popular.
Yeah.
like they wanted to like create a caricature of a greedy, gluttonous man, and like that's like they're like, dude, I like that guy. He looks soft.
Yeah, right.
I want to rub his belly.
Yeah, I want to like hug that guy.
I think it's funny because the little Buddha statues, they scare cats. It's hilarious.
Is that documented?
I've seen it. I guess I didn't document it. I should have taken a video because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
We seriously had to there was one in an apartment I was living in with my girlfriend and her cats at the time, and he was we couldn't have that statue out. He was terrified of it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you should have documented like cats with cucumbers.
Yeah,
have you seen those videos where they
it's
just
that same kind of thing?
Yeah.
Except and also ceiling fans. That was that cat had a weird phobia.
That makes sense. It's movement. It's like but just a Buddha statue.
Just a Buddha statue
that doesn't make
didn't
sense
move
to
and
me.
do anything. Like if it wasn't covered up, that cat was like, what?
Do you think it thinks it's like a mouse or something?
No, because it was about the size of the cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That might be it. It's just like the size of.
Yeah. I mean, I said little because it's like, it's not like
little
a giant
to a
statue.
man.
Yeah, little to us, yes. Cat size. I mean, maybe a little smaller than the cat, but not much.
How would you feel if there was just a
I wouldn't fucking like it either.
A statue the size of you, like you just walk into your living room, like, oh Jesus, fuck! It's just Steamboat Willie, life-size statue.
That was exactly what happened too. The cat was not used to the statue, and it was just there one day, and it was like, man,
that shit creeps me out.
Not having it.
Do you want to hit advice?
Sure.
I believe so. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna read. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this one, posted by The Toilet Who Speaks. I love the names. I know you said not to say them, but and it's titled "Fuck This Career." We get a lot of these, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right. I've been a nurse for a year and I'm fucking done with this shit. I've had 3 jobs and every single one I'm getting a crash course orientation. I'm tired of remaining calm in stressful situations with patients acting a fucking fool. I'm tired of essentially running around a giant daycare known as a hospital. I'm tired of the corporate fucking greed of hospitals pumping as many admissions as they possibly can. I'm tired of being yelled at for things out of my control or things I shouldn't be getting my ass tore up about because entitled patients think they can do whatever they want. This career isn't fucking noble or whatever society wants it to be. It's fucking shit and good luck surviving with a consistent understaffed hospital everywhere you go. I would never advise this career to anyone, and yes, I've tried different specialties. Sick people are almost consistently pieces of shit. Does anyone have any ideas of what careers I'd make a similar salary at where there's virtually no people interaction? I'm peopled out, and I'd happily take a career in an office where I'm stimulated, I do my work, and I go the fuck home. Take it away, Mike.
So this person definitely has a problem with people.
Yeah.
And they're aware of like the cliche or the stereotype of what you think of a nurse or a firefighter or like a police officer type thing. And so that like they can't see the nobility in the job anymore. They've just broken it down to all the problems and like, I don't know if it's policies with the hospital or what it is.
Yeah.
So I think, finding a job, because they did say something that has an equivalent salary. So I think finding a job that is going to be just as little human contact as possible. I don't think any job has like none.
Right. That's especially if you want to stay in this field, but it doesn't sound like you do, which that might work out for you. But, it's also because it sounds like your outlook on it has changed. It sounds like you went in thinking, I'm going to do some good, change some things. And then, you got into it. And that's the thing. That's part of, I hear this a lot from people in the field, honestly, about how it just starts to feel like tedious work that's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
And
underappreciation. Do you think that's part of it?
That is it's like a third party appreciation. Like everybody's always like, now let's be thankful to the people who take care of our old ones, our medical personnel, this and that. But like that's what it is. It's a shout out.
But nobody actually goes to the
in the
nurse
process,
and is like, hey, I fucking appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, it's dealing with.
I'm sure that people do, but but a lot of people are entitled and just.
I would say that's not the norm.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
It depends what part of the nursing you're doing too.
Yeah, you know, but
like,
there's the thing.
ER nurses have got to be going through crazy stuff like all the time.
Well, and you know, there's a lot of like dealing with old people in this thing, and you know, a lot of old people get senile, they get grumpy, they don't remember where they are sometimes.
They often
you know,
probably don't give a fuck,
and they just and there's a lot of just I don't give a shit anymore, you know, and especially you know there could also be a sense of a lot, you know, I'm trying to see it from every angle. There could be a sense of like some of them having maybe been abandoned by their families, and so they're just treating everyone around them like shit. And look, if it's like getting to you this much, this just might not be the field for you anymore.
Yeah.
As far as so like then the other things would be like what kind of skills do you have? You know, if you want to stay in this field, it sounds like you know the medical field in general is one where you're gonna have to deal with people.
And maybe like. As I'm thinking about this, like, yeah, maybe there is more weight on the gratification or like the feedback that they get, you know? So finding a job where it's very minimal person to person, like troubleshooting or like, you know, fixing problems, something like that, but something that's still stimulating and that you get feedback for doing a good job. So, like, yeah, maybe you don't even have to leave the medical field. You could do, like, blood work or, you know,
you could become a tech, in whatever, in some kind of hospital
X-ray
environment.
Technician. Yeah, I know that, like, the billing departments and, like, not exactly secretaries, but, like, of the financial branch, you know, something that it's paperwork driven. It's a certain amount of work that you have to get through, and you don't have to personally reach out to a lot of people.
Okay, so I found like a list here. You guys can help me read this off. 13 careers for introverts. So
okay,
take a look at
13
this here.
medical careers.
Yeah, medical careers.
Yeah.
For
So like
introverts.
so if you should want to stay in the medical field and deal with the least amount of people, here are some
deal
options.
with more of the like just the technical stuff, not the
Which
the people.
it's possible that they would have a better time finding a job with the company they already work for.
Yeah.
Like
or maybe just like a little bit more training and then they could do this.
Exactly, like still in the field. So it's like, oh, if you know this, and this, all we have to do is teach you this.
Yeah.
You already know how
like,
a hospital works.
Well, like
so.
the first one here, Ian, was medical transcriptionist, right? And so it has the primary duties, you know, listening to voice recordings of medical findings, treatment plans from healthcare providers, and writing them as text-based records. And so that's like, you know, after listening, you know, you go through, you type it up.
So the doctor says, all right, prescribe this amount.
It's rather simple work, you know, and it's the kind of thing. So if you're in that field and you'll understand the jargon, so to speak, you know, you won't like, because if it was me or you know, we'd be like, what do you say there? I think it's right.
That's a good point, is that any of these careers, if you stayed in kind of that field, you would have expertise that other people would not, because you're familiar with the jargon.
Yeah.
Like, picking up being a mechanic or something would be so hard in the aspect of you don't know what
I don't know what the hell any of this is about. Yeah. So like that kind of thing is one good example.
Lab technician is on this
now,
list.
Granted, some of these,
this one sounds like something like that. Medical equipment repairer. Like
well, and as we get lower on the list, the national average salaries on these go way up. You didn't actually say what you're getting paid, so we don't, you know, some of these may have higher requirements than what you currently meet, and that was where some more schooling might come in. But again, like we were saying, like you can, if you already know some of it, teaching you new things in that field, they'd probably prefer you over some dumbass like me, you know?
Your current job might even sponsor you or donate or, you know, like give you a scholarship of sorts to go back to school to learn some of these other skills as well, you know? If you wanted to do like coding or data analysis.
Yeah, that'd be, and that's something I feel like it could be useful in any field if you knew how to do it right.
But you might be able to leverage your current job. Like maybe they have a program where they'll pay for you to go back to school
to do this,
to tough it out for a little bit longer.
So that you come back, you got the skill, now you can do it for us.
You basically get a new job and free education.
Yeah.
That's not always available, but I know sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, maybe a paperwork, like an accountant or like, Yeah, a lab technician for like a cheese factory. Something where you're not directly involved with the public.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of options, but see, biostatistician is 142,640 per year, so that's probably I imagine that's exceeding what a nurse does. It's exceeding anything I've done.
But it also sounds like the first job that would be replaced by a robot. Like all they do is plug in all the data and figure out like better ways to do things, and it's like.
Oh, and
I figure like there's 5 equations that they would just plug numbers into. And like,
and look, maybe this is just me giving way too much credit to shit. At the bottom, it does say the position requires a minimum bachelor's degree, but a master's or a doctorate degree is often necessary for you to be hired as a biostatistician. So, like, I imagine there's
I'm sure there's more to it, but like the rest
I imagine there's a human element to that job that AI can't yet. Yeah.
Right.
Again, as time goes on, this kind of thing will change. But like right now,
I guess I suppose if you're looking for a career shift, maybe one that's a little bit more hands-on and
not biostatistician.
Yeah. Let's rule that one out.
It's great pay though.
The salary looks too good to be true.
It's the highest
what
on the
we
list.
Learned?
It's probably true.
It's probably more complicated and needs more than we're giving it credit for. I'm sure.
Yeah. So we'll wrap it up by saying, like, try to find something, maybe leverage your current position and maybe try to leverage it into a new opportunity. You don't have to leave the medical field entirely, but you realize that your current position is not doing it for you and what you want out of a job, and it's too stressful, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like, something that's a little even more hands-on, less face-to-face interaction. And if you don't want to stick in the medical field at all, try going for computer science, coding, a lab technician somewhere else, an accountant, real estate assistant,
Sure.
You really have to look inward and find what, based on your past experiences,
yourself too, like what it is you want to do and what it is you're qualified to do. Don't try to do something completely new that is very high skilled. It also, I guess, that would also depend on your age. If you're really young, you could.
Looking at the cons of your current job and what you don't like about it, try to find something that doesn't have that, and look at the pros as well. What parts of the job do you like? What feels fulfilling? What feels like you're helping? And try to emulate that in somewhere else as well. So we wish you good luck. We hope you find something that makes you happy and is a little bit more fulfilling. If you listen to the show, we'll leave a little comment. If you listen to the show, hopefully you can, message us back in the future and when you're happy at the new job and, kicking life in the nuts.
Yeah, and I think, again, just look into what you like to do, and again, what you're being paid, so shoot for that. And one thing I was thinking is also, it's not the end of the world if you have to take a slight pay cut to do something where you feel more appreciated, where you do feel like you're doing something more noble.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll leave a comment for them, and hopefully, things work out. But anything else you want to touch on today?
No, I think we did a good job. I like the idea. I like Creamboat Willie and then my gangster Willie.
Yeah, solid.
I think we have something there. I think that there's gonna be some edits in this video of Steamboat Willie is probably gonna be all over this one, guys. Not gonna lie.
Now that Sam is editing the podcast, I want to start requesting visuals for him to put up on screen just to make his job a little bit harder
and give me more practice. And then you guys can also judge. You can say in the comments dude, it's not working. Try something better.
And you can do the same with audio for me. You want raindrops?
Oh, yeah. If you
drop tops.
Oh, yes, I can make the requests.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys hear something in the audio that Mike didn't do well enough, you're welcome to comment and be like, hey, Mike, you could do this better.
Hey, no, I'm perfect.
Well, that's the thing. You're the best one out of us, so we're less likely to catch your mistakes. But I think we have at least one listener who might catch you on anything you're not doing right.
take the stethoscope out, okay? I'm just a man. All right, but I think we'll head out here, guys.
Yeah, Dodo Birds, this was a good one. We had a lot of fun with you today. This morning, these episodes release in the morning. Whenever you were listening to it, that's when it was for us.
Yeah, whatever you like the best, that's what we like too.
Yeah.
We will catch you next time.
Whatever you're into, I'm into, Dodo Birds.
Well, not everything.
Let's try some stuff.
All right, we will catch you next time for episode 15. Thank you again, guys, and toodaloo.
See ya.